Hello friends and welcome to my YouTube channel Simply Stocks, and today I'm going to talk about C8 and whether you should buy this stock at less than 10 times earnings or you should avoid it. So let's get started. First of all, a disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation. People taking any position into any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research, and I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. Before I talk about C8, here's a small request that kindly support me through Patreon, and with the $2 support of yours, I can continue with this channel even better and make better videos. And once I have more than 100 Patreons, I'll start with a YouTube course on investments and trading for free on this channel. So kindly do that, and you'll get many articles, stock calls, stop losses, targets of different stocks, and analysis, even fundamental analysis of all stocks, and these are different articles for different years. So kindly go to the Patreon channel. The link is in the description. Now about the company. So CEAT was established in 1958, and its official name was Heavy Electrice FNA Torino. So it was based out of Italy and now established in India, one of the biggest tire manufacturers, and manufactures for passenger vehicles as well as commercial vehicles and two-wheelers, and one of the marquee brands that you would all understand. The market cap is less than 4,000 crores at the moment and has export operations to multiple locations. So they have export operations to Europe and Middle East and Asia at the moment, and probably that is why the stock has been plummeted down, because we have seen what has happened globally. If you look at the financials of the company, then the sales were up 2.7% in this quarter compared to FY19, and the profit growth was a mere 4%. There is high debt on the company, and the lower taxes helped the numbers to be in positive. Otherwise, they could have been having a flat to negative growth on the profit front. The ROE of the company was at 12.2%, and operating profit margin was at 10%. If you look at the stock performance, then the stock has been up 24% in the last 6 months. It has been doing well, but have fallen 50% in the last 2 years and have fallen even more in the last 15-20 days. High promoter and institutional holding, and only 11% free float is there, which is a positive in the company. But the return ratios are very average, and that is probably the reason why it is trading at 9-10 times earnings. And even now, it is not shooting up in today's market when everything is going up. The dividend payout ratio is pretty good, and you remember that from 2012 onwards the stock has gone from 100 rupees to 2000 rupees and now have corrected. So it has already made that 15-20x move that we have seen with many small cap companies. If we look at what could be the reasons at the moment, or the what is the current scenario with the stock and what lies ahead. So lower crude prices is a big positive for the company. If we do a SWOT analysis, then this is a very good you can say an opportunity that the crude prices has come down so low. But the global economic turmoil is hurting the firm, and this problem with the coronavirus, the COVID-19 issue, is going to really hurt the company in terms of numbers, and many of the companies may find it very difficult to cope with this, because when the numbers would come out, say in about a month's time, then you'll understand that what kind of an effect the March lockdown have had on these companies. And probably that is why people are becoming more cautious and trying to invest in companies like CEAT. They are looking at marquee top names, the top you can say 50 names, top 100 names, which are large cap companies, rather than looking at companies like CEAT or any small caps. Yes, at 9 times earnings it is reasonably priced. It is not very expensive, very nice pricing at the moment, and one can invest. But then how much of an upside will be there is still to be seen. It may continue to feel the heat because of COVID-19, and we may see situation. Uh, I don't know how the situation would pan out. So we have to look in the next 15-20 days how the situation will pan out, and whether there could be escalation of this infection, or not. So we have to see all that and then consider into investing into such companies because they are more export oriented, and the global situation doesn't recover and rectify, then the position of these stocks, all export oriented stocks, would be extremely vulnerable, because we've seen what is happening in Spain, we have seen what is happening in US, etc. So in many countries there are many issues. So this is going to be quite troublesome for the next 2 3 months. So it has now this is another issue. So if you look at it, they have started with another plant in Chennai. Now that probably they would have started this plant 2 3 months back, or 1 1.5 months back, due to heavy demand of export, and the auto sector globally was coming back onto its feet. But what has happened is, because of this COVID-19 virus, there has been a complete shutdown in probably 100 countries across the globe. More than that, I think close to 100 countries across the globe are shut down partially or totally. And due to that, I don't see export going to these countries. I don't see any demand in autos. There could be virtually no demand. So this is going to really hurt the company, and that is why people are fearing the numbers. And I believe that these facilities, the expansion and opening up new plant, might not work, and they would have to shut down plants. And we have seen many auto ancillary companies shutting down plants, and Seat is no exception. So due to that, there could be much I mean there could be a lot of repercussions of that will know only by May. So we have to wait for a couple of months. That's my assessment while getting into these companies. This will absolutely do well when uncertainty subsides and there's greater demand for autos in India and abroad. So we have to wait for that, and probably this will take at least 5 to 6 months. So we have to consider that as well. Under pressure due to the auto slowdown worldwide, and under pressure due to the virus thing that is happening globally. So you need to consider all these aspects before getting into the stock. Yes, valuations are very good, but whether things are on the better front or not, we have to think about that. If you look at the technicals of the stock, then currently the stock is trading at 9 times earnings, and it also trades at only half times the price to book. So the price to book ratio is still pretty good at the moment to invest in. Corrected during market slam dunk recently, and over the last 1 month it has corrected even further. So 880 to 950 are very good levels for long term buy, and currently it has fallen even more. But the big up move will only come above 1,000 rupees. You have to take that into consideration. So once I made this video, then 880 to 950 looked very good support, and it has dipped below that. But I believe if you want to buy, then let everything clear, and we could have a situation where probably around 1,020, if the stock goes to, then only you get into it. And if things really get better on the virus front globally and in India, then only get into such stocks. Otherwise, you need to avoid. So what needs to be done? You can buy at current levels and add more on decline. So drop in crude prices is a huge positive, but then you have to look at the situation with the virus. You have to look at the situation with the lockdown. These situations were not present say 2 3 weeks back. So what I believe is, probably wait for these situations to clear. Probably wait for the lockdown to end. Maybe we'll have a further lockdown, and we'll have a situation in which the markets could be shut for across April as well. I don't know. Things could be shaky, so you have to take it day by day and look at the situation. Look at the situations of the market, and on reasonable declines, yes, you can buy and have a good 4 5 year time frame. So that's all my video on C8. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so that you can get my video straight away when I post it. Thanks a lot for watching.